Hey, dude. Hey, man.
Hey.
How you doing, Atelston? What's going on, man? It's so good to see you, man.
Whoa, the all-encompassing Jimmy Falcon himself.
Now I'm seeing you sideways right now.
Okay, how is this? Better?
Is that better? I have to introduce you because you're quite a guy.
Yeah.
First off, your name is Atelston Fitzgerald Holder the First.
Yes, sir.
And your I think it's your nickname, maybe it's your nickname or your stage name is Mr. Pregnant.
Yes, sir.
Is it? Tell me about the Mr. Pregnant part. You know, the Atelston part I could figure out later, you know, but who's this Mr. Pregnant guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the all-encompassing Mr. Pregnant is a metaphor for full of it. That was like my online sobriquet on YouTube back in the days, right? So that was like my online viral name, Mr. Pregnant. Mr. Pregnant is supposedly a metaphor for full of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on the Jimmy Falcon show, yo.
It's so good to see you, man. It's amazing, you know, because you know so many different things. You know, physics, linguistics.
Yeah.
You know the theory of music. You're a musician.
Yeah.
I mean, I want this show to be different than the other shows. You know, I want this show to be about teaching Jimmy. You know, maybe that's the game that we play the whole time. Teach Jimmy. You know, because there's so many things that you know I don't know. You know, and other people don't know. So.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm super excited to be on your show. I'm a big fan. I've been watching you for a long time. Your impersonation of Tracy Morgan and just so many other famous artists is just spot on. So I am just super flabbergasted to be a guest on your show.
Listen, I'm like going out of my mind right now. I'm like freaking out, you know, because
Why?
it's like because it's so cool, you know, and like seeing you is like amazing, you know, and it's like the whole thing is like, you know, it's like, do you know about astrology?
I know a little astrology. I mean, I work in cross-disciplinary, multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary, and interdisciplinary areas. Those are just a bunch of big pretentious words of where you may have to take many disciplines into consideration. So cross-disciplinary is where you take an explanatory position of one discipline within the context of another. So I may discuss music using physics only. You know, what is sound? What is amplitude, frequency, velocity? Why do we hear octave? But that's just from a physics perspective. From a music perspective, that's a whole different dynamics, right? So
now I was about to ask you, what is physics? You know, because I don't remember taking that class.
Yeah.
What is physics for people that don't know what physics is?
Well, one aspect of physics is to study the fundamental nature of reality. You know, the underlying properties, the nature of matter, energy, and basically physics encapsulate a number of different phenomena. It really studies how things work on a fundamental level, on a molecular level. What is the underlying mechanism that governs a phenomenon? You know.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Man,
but you know what? You keep moving around. You're making me stomach queasy.
I apologize.
You're moving around. It's like I'm on a roller coaster or something.
I just want to know.
Are those behind you? Are those books behind you?
Those are like books. I have multiple libraries, and this is like one of my office space. Multiple computers, multiple books.
Now, why do you need multiple computers?
Multiple computers simultaneously. If I want to superimpose projects. Sometimes I want to work on multiple projects simultaneously, and one computer is just to do multiple projects on one computer is a cumbersome process. So I may have to isolate certain projects. So this might be designated for doing art, Adobe Premiere or Procreate, and one area might be designated specifically for music. I may also have like a computer set up just to do lectures and presentation and all.
And I know you do consultations, you know?
Yeah, because I mean,
tell me about that, because you know, if you were going to consult me, what would you say?
Well, I don't know, man. I just like the fact that when you have all these celebrities on your show, I like the awkwardness, man. Oh, you put these people on.
You know, because I'm like going out of my mind, you know, like I'm freaking out. When I do my show, it's like there's like just burst of energy all throughout my body, you know, and I just can't take it. I'm just freaking out, you know. I don't know what to say, and I have a great time, and I smile a lot. I feel good, you know. But it's so good to see it. But I don't know, like there's so many things I don't know, you know.
Yeah. I'm ambiguous. You could call me the conspicuous ghost of ambiguity.
That's what I was gonna say. It's under your name on your website. It says that.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it. Yeah, the conspicuous ghost of ambiguity.
Tell me about your website, because I know that's kind of what you thought about. That you kind of figured out this is what I'm gonna push. These are the different channels. This is what I do. And I have to say, it's very like there's a lot on there, you know. But I think that's important, because what are you gonna do? Not highlight everything, you know?
Well, the thing is, I've done a lot of projects in LA. I did a lot of studio projects. I got invited to a lot of shows. Pasadena Media, primarily in LA, they had a lot of studio shows. So I got invited to do a lot of lectures on specifically subjects that I found intriguing. And so what I did was I published on my website a consolidation of a number of different subjects I lectured on, and also things I did on a personal level. So what my website is really based on is a consolidation of a number of different subjects, where I discuss the physics of music, where I discuss the linguistics of music, where I discuss the theoretical aspect of music. And then not only do I write on these subjects, but I illustrate and demonstrate the things I speak about. So if I'm going to discuss how to compose, then I need to have an original composition. If I'm going to discuss how to arrange music, then I need to illustrate from a practical standpoint. Well, here's a song. Here's a number one pop song. I'm going to arrange that, and I'm going to have to take them step by step. So I have to illustrate and demonstrate that. So what my website did is a consolidation of all the things I've written about, all the things I've speak about, and it allows me to illustrate this.
It's so cool. And you play good. But first I want to know, how did you get the way you are? I mean, because you must be incredibly inquisitive. And I mean, what was your life like? What was your schooling like, and what was your life like early on?
Well, I'm sort of like a research scientist. I'm not a scientist in the strictest sense, more research. Research has to take a number of different areas into consideration. If I get into pathology and psychopathology or pathophysiology, I have to take areas of philosophy, psychology. There's just so many different areas you have to take into consideration when you're studying, let's say, bipolar 1, manic episode, or mental disorders, mental disease as a whole. This is not supposed to be an intellectual show. This is supposed to...
Come on, man.
I didn't want to come here and have this discussion.
Listen,
I wanted to
listen, I don't know what to say, but some of this stuff I don't get. I told you that already. But like, what can you teach me? Like, what's the most vital thing I need to know with your knowledge? Like, what if you could teach me anything, what would you teach me?
Not really teach, but just, man, I think you are extraordinary, my friend. I've seen a number of people discuss in forums, interactive platforms, where people would actually discuss in your show and how extraordinary, the Jeff Richards show is, how extraordinary you are, and spot on when it comes to these impersonations.
No, first off, this is not Jeff Richards. This is not Jeff Richards. You understand?
Jimmy Falcon. Yeah, absolutely.